my champagne hour where we welcome all the new queens into our group. Yay! With champagne. So, and if you don't know what champagne is, I made it a hashtag, a very specific hashtag, because it's champagne plus a little bit of change. Woo-hoo! So, we are cheersing today to all the new queens who have joined our community, and we are talking about surviving versus thriving. So, you'll learn today why some women will prefer to stay in a crappy relationship or a crappy financial circumstance or in a crappy body, and what your brain's innate wiring needs in order to break free and thrive. If your energy is always going to surviving, there ain't much room for thriving. So, we are going to welcome our amazing queens. We have Heidi and Ella. Welcome to our group, our crown community of queens. Woo! Cheers to you. Pinkies out. So, if you're new to our group, please post a selfie of yourself. Obviously, selfie of yourself. Makes sense. Please post a selfie and tell us about yourself. What are you passionate about? How are you making a difference in this world? What do you do in this world? So I can't wait to hear all about what you're doing. We are an amazing group that supports each other, and we are each other's cheerleaders for our highest magnificence. So post a selfie in the group, and this is the one time where you will have an opportunity to share all your social links or links to your website so that we can check you out, because you are awesome and we want to support you in every single way possible. So, surviving versus thriving. This is it. Getting into some heavy shizzle. So, like I said, if your energy is always going to surviving, there is not much room for thriving, because our mind will only let us survive, will only let us thrive when we are on a level that feels safe and secure. So, like I said in the beginning, women and men will sometimes stay in a crappy relationship, in a crappy body, like a body that's not really supporting them in what they want or that doesn't feel right for them, and in crappy financial circumstances because of survival mode. And you're like, what? What does that mean? So, survival mode, our brains are wired to survive because it's our primal safety mechanism. So way back thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago, we needed this safety mechanism to keep us safe from danger, from tigers chasing us and eating us. So if you're feeling like you're never enough, that always puts you on a fearful foundation, so that means, like, if you're always ready for the other shoe to drop, that you're waiting for the other shoe to drop because you constantly feel like you're never enough. So it drops right into self-sabotage, and what that does is it keeps you safe where you're comfortable. So even if it's a shitty place where you're comfortable, like in a bad relationship, bad financial situation, or unhealthy habits with your body, even if it's crappy, it's familiar. So you know how to survive in the familiar. And you've heard the cliche saying, better the devil you know than the devil you don't. But the thing is, you will never thrive there. So, our brains are wired to protect us. We have brains that are rather old, and they are wired to protect us and to survive, not to grow. So the first thing we need in order to thrive is to feel safety. So sometimes, if you don't feel safe in your job scenario, if you aren't performing well, this can make you over push in your job. I had a client who did this, over push in your job to stay in survival mode because she was trying to survive because it was so hard for her to keep up with her job. And what that caused was her to neglect her body and her time in her relationship. because our brains want to protect us. We are wired to literally seek out danger. That's why anytime that you go into a new situation, there is always going to be fear, because our brains are wired to literally seek out the fear, because they're keeping us alive. So what happens is when you're stuck in survival mode, normally the first thing, especially as women, that we do is neglect our bodies. And what happens to our bodies when we're in survival mode is your body spikes up that cortisol and you start craving more stimulants. And now here's the thing, is the unconscious mind always wants more. So if you're constantly providing it with stressors and stimulants, it's going to continue to want stressors and stimulants. This is actually how many forms of addiction are born, is because your unconscious mind is always seeking out more of what you focus on, because what you focus on, you feed, and your unconscious mind wants to please you. Even if what you're focusing on is totally negative, it's going to seek that out because it thinks that's what you actually want. So what happens to our bodies when we are super stressed is we're going to start craving more stimulants, more caffeine, more sugar, and your adrenal glands will get super taxed and fatigued. And did you know this? I found this to be an incredibly interesting fact from the Ziva Mind Institute, is that you actually secrete onto your skin toxins to make you taste bad. And I've experienced this, not personally, well, I'm sure personally, but when I was teaching Pilates, that when my clients would come to me specifically super, super stressed, they would actually have more BO than when they came to me relaxed and in a positive state. Now, secreting toxins under your skin when you're stressed and in like fear mode is really great when you have a saber-toothed tiger that's wanting to nosh on you. However, it's not so good because in today's world, when we don't have saber-toothed tigers that are chasing us down in our modern world, it actually causes people to be repelled because you stink. So how do we change this? And I know it's my favorite cliche, but it's a cliche because it's 100% true. So you know how on a plane they tell you to put the mask on your child first before you put it on yourself? No, of course not. You know that you put the mask on yourself so that you don't die, so that you can support your child. Because if you are suffocating as you're trying to put the mask on your child and you die, your child may not have the mask on. And therefore, you have to flip and reframe that belief. So when you're in stress mode, the first thing you need to do is take action on your body. So one of the greatest, most powerful ways to transform your emotional state, if you're in a stressed out state, is change your physiology. So either that's doing some deep breathing exercises or going out for a brief run or even just a quick walk. Take action with your body in order to set your brain up and to trigger, oh, everything's okay. I'm good. And so we have to train ourselves to flip that, especially as women, because we're highly nurturing beings. Like, we want to help serve others and we want to give from that place of abundance, ideally, but you can't give from a place of abundance if you're in a state of fear and stress and scarcity. So you got to put the mask on yourself first. So the first thing you have to do, take action on your body. So that means change your physical state, like jump up and down 10 times even. Do some jumping jacks. Jumping on a trampoline is great because it actually stimulates your lymphatic system, and that you have like a ton of lymph nodes in your body. And so by stimulating your lymphatic system, it's going to help calm you down. So, and the second thing to do is you have to discover what makes you feel safe and secure right now. So you want to discover, so because you need safety and security to thrive, you want to discover what makes you safe and secure right now. So as you go to that quantum leap and as you jump to that next level in your life and in your business and in your relationships, you feel super safe doing it. So how do you do that? You become familiar with fear. And now Elizabeth Gilbert said it in one of my most favorite ways ever in her book, Big Magic, she said, fear is not in the driver's seat. Acknowledge the fear, because denying that it's there only makes it worse. So you can't walk around and be like, I'm not fearful at all. Like, especially as high achieving women, we're going to walk around and be like, no, we're not scared. We're just stressed. Stress is actually fear, ladies. So just notice that when you're feeling stressed and anxious, it's just a fear of the unknown of what you're going into and what you're stepping forth into. So when you're feeling stress, you're actually feeling fear. So Elizabeth Gilbert said in her book, Big Magic, she said, feel the fear, but do not sit it in the driver's seat. Do not give it the roadmap. You are in the driver's seat. You are the queen of your life. So take that driver's seat. Take that roadmap. You are the queen. You are in the driver's seat, and you are also the GPS system. Fear is not the GPS system. If you're letting fear direct you, you're going to go in several different paths constantly, because you're like, oh, let me go down this road. Oh, wait, no, oops, fear. Gotta retract. We gotta go down this road. Oh, nope, fear. So you gotta retract. So do not make fear your GPS system. You want to put you in the GPS system, put your goals in your GPS system. That is where you're going. That is your direction. Fear gets the back seat, and fear basically has to just sit tight and shut up. So you want to keep fear quiet in the back seat, but acknowledge that it's there, because it is a vital part. It is letting you know, hey, you're entering into a scary zone. You're entering into something new. And when you're entering in something new, that is always a place that always can create those there's fearful emotions, because it's new, it's different, it's something you haven't experienced. So it's like, when I was used to being in very bad, negative relationships, I got used to that. And when I found my husband, I was like, what is this consistency thing? What is this like stability of emotions? And that was when I felt the fear, and I was like, this is something new. This is something that I probably should be accepting in my life, because it hasn't worked in the past, having the crazy emotions and the crazy relationships. That hasn't worked. It's been failure. So learning from those failures, and when I found that stability and then security with my husband, I was like, oh, okay, I'm on a new level on a new safe ground. So let me see, anybody chiming in with questions? No, we have no questions. So today I want you to take action in the comments below. I want you to let me know what your greatest fear is and how you're going to put that fear in the back seat. So instead of letting it drive you forward, you're going to take that fear, you're going to move it into the back seat, and you're going to change your goals into the navigation. Make your goals your GPS system instead of having fear be it. So in the comments below, post what your greatest number one fear is and how you're going to conquer it and put it in the back seat where it belongs. All right, so that way you can move fear into the back seat, because that's survival mode, and that way you get to move up into the front seat, which is thriving. Boom! All right, so this is our Champagne Friday. Yeah, it's Friday. As a mother of a 3-month-old, I lose track of the dates very easily. So this is our Champagne Friday. Cheers. Welcome to our new queens as a part of our community. I am so excited to read more about you, to see your beautiful faces in your selfies. And I am signing out. Remember, ladies, we are going to, and this is my new sign that I'm so excited. We kind of came up with it last week, and I've just kind of added a little bit more oomph, a little bit more sparkle to it, like I do. So we are going to make it rain, because we crown ourselves, right? All right. Cheers, ladies. Make it rain this next week. I am so excited to see you in this group, participating and changing and transforming your life from survive to thrive. Cheers.
For more information on how to create a body, business, and life that rules, visit crownyourself.com.